Liverpool versus Arsenal. This game always has intensity, drama, there's history attached to it. But this game was slightly different. Two teams, unbeaten, going head to head, and in the end, it all came down to a single moment of brilliance. My name is Hitesh. Welcome back to Sultan of Soccer. Now that I've had the time to really analyze this game, I just want to give an objective breakdown by keeping my Arsenal bias aside. This was one of the marquee fixtures of this season. Both the teams coming unbeaten, the fans were buzzing, and Anfield was really set for a grandeur of the match. But in the end, it wasn't dominance, it wasn't collapse, but it was down to a sheer moment of brilliance. To recap the match, Liverpool won at Anfield 1-0 because of Dominik Szoboszlai's 83rd free kick from 32 yards out. His free kick swerved, tipped, and left David Raya grasping at air. It was a kind of goal that determines games, and this really determined the result at the end of the day. To give you some context now, Arsenal have not won at Anfield since 2012, which continues to haunt them. And on the flip side, this game gives Ancelot's Liverpool that perfect launchpad for the season. But this wasn't really a free-flowing classic. In fact, according to Opta, the expected goal for the whole game was only 0.9, which is lowest in the Premier League this season. I know the season just started, but just to give you all some context. That tells you everything. Both defenses were disciplined. Neither attack really carved any real chances as such. And the only thing that separated the two teams was really that brilliant free kick at the end of the day. To talk about tactical analysis from a Liverpool standpoint, their defense was compact. I think Konate has looked shaky in the first two games, but I think he was really, really good alongside Virgil van Dijk. Szoboszlai, I think he's the new James Milner for Liverpool at this point because they keep deploying him in different positions. Again, in this game, he was a makeshift right back at times. He actually neutralized Gabriel Martinelli really, really well throughout the match and ultimately also delivered that match-winning free kick. I think that versatility is going to be a big asset for Ancelot this season. Creatively, however, I think Liverpool are still a work in progress, to say the least. I know they've scored 7 goals or 8 goals, including Szoboszlai's goal yesterday, but you can still see that they're not really well-oiled machine or that attacking machine that we have known Liverpool in recent time. I think Havertz is going to take some time to settle down. I think fans or people who are already writing him off, let's give him a break. I think he's still adapting to the league. And I think Liverpool's attack will be just fine. What it also showed that Ancelot is really pragmatic at times as well. I think his team was well structured. He did the substitutions at the right time. And really he deserves the credit to show that flexibility. From an Arsenal standpoint, again, defensively, I think we were really good. Even after losing Saliba, Mosquera came on with Gabriel. We'll talk about Mosquera a little bit later on in this video. But defensively, they maintained the shape. I think Rice and Zubimendi had a really good game. I did see Zubimendi getting a little tired towards the end of the game. I think he's still getting used to, again, similar to Havertz coming from a totally different league. I think it takes players a little bit to just adapt to that physicality and the intensity of the league. On the other hand, from an attacking standpoint, let's be honest, we didn't really offer as many chances as possible. I think Arteta was way more pragmatic with his midfield. Do I think Eze should have been played in the starting lineup? Yes, because he would have probably have been able to create some chances. We could see Gyökeres was trying to run the channels. Maybe Eze could have found that last killer pass, but hindsight is hindsight. I think we clearly missed Bukayo Saka, our best player. I think Martin Ødegaard was missed. I know he came on later on, but I think he didn't really look fit. He just was not really moving around as we know him for. And obviously Kai Havertz is injured. But I think you have to commend again Liverpool's defense. Gyökeres again was not really involved in that game. I think he still needs to adapt to how Arsenal play. I think he needs to improve his shoulder play. He still tries to run the channels as he's used to at Sporting Lisbon. So that typically meant that even if Arsenal were able to progress the ball, it just fizzled out towards the end. I think one thing that I want to criticize about Mikel Arteta was his game management. Again, this is all hindsight, right? But even the substitutions that he did, we had 2 attacking talents sitting on the bench, right? So even if he couldn't have gotten Ødegaard, I think he should have brought on Eze very early on. I think right of the second half, I think he should have gotten him onto the field. I love Martinelli. I think there is a player in there. He's struggling right now. I think he's short on confidence. But I still think that substitutions were made late. I think if he would have brought them on, maybe that would have changed the flow a little bit. But again, he's known to be more pragmatic in these kind of fixtures, and I can understand why, right? And let's talk about the positives next. But if you remember from the Wenger years, Arsenal were always criticized to be more attacking minded. Why are you attacking when you're going away at Anfield? Why are you being attacking when you're going at the Etihad or Stamford Bridge? We were criticized for not being way more pragmatic and still try to play a natural game. Now that the script has flipped and now that Arteta is actually playing more of a pragmatic football, I heard what Peter Schmeichel had to say, and I want to talk about that as well a little bit. But you have to understand that he is way more pragmatic because he's just trying to not lose when we are going to these big crucial matches, especially away. And you can say all you want that it's anti-football, it's not, what are we doing with all this attacking talent? At the end of the day, let's say if we do end up winning a major trophy this season with playing this anti-football, right? Who cares? At the end of the day, he's bringing you a trophy. That's what all matters. So let's keep things under perspective a little bit. Let's talk about Liverpool's positive first. I think their midfield looks really great. I think Gravenberch has risen up a level even more. People were doubtful of him playing that lone CDM or single pivot, whatever you want to call it. I think he's done a great job so far. I think Szoboszlai, every team should have that player like James Milner. You can put him in the right back, you can put him on the left back, you can put him in the midfield. I think Szoboszlai is one of those players who is not really appreciated by a lot of people. I think he plays a very, very crucial role for Liverpool in my mind, and I think he's proving the money that Liverpool paid for him all those years ago, that every penny is worth it. I know, again, still early on in the season, but I think that was really good. Konate, I know he went off injured. I hope the injury is not serious. Even as a rival fan, I will always say that no players deserve to get seriously injured, no matter if you like the team or not. But I think at the end of the day, we are all human beings and we should be respectful about that. So again, I hope Konate is okay. But he looked really solid with Virgil van Dijk at the back. Attacking wise, I think you can see Ekitike's quality as well. I know that the defense that Arsenal had put out really almost like shut down would be the right word to say the least. But I think he still looks really good. Cody Gakpo looked really good on the wings as well. So I think there's a ton of positives, just apart from the win, I would say, for Liverpool fans. On the other side, for Arsenal, I will say that it was very crucial this season that Arsenal get someone on the right-hand side to cover for Bukayo Saka. I was not one of the biggest fans of Madueke deal, but I think he showed quality. Obviously, he has a lot of things to improve upon. I think he needs to work on his finishing. I think he needs to work on how he tackles those one-on-one situations. But I think there's a player in there, and he might be one of the good buys of the season for Arsenal. Calafiori, on the other hand, I think the guy showed what we missed out on last season. I think for the most part, he really, really worked well to shut down Salah. I know there were moments where Salah, went around him or made life difficult for him. But I think overall, Calafiori did really, really well. One player I definitely want to mention is Christian Mosquera. We've all heard that phrase, trial by fire. I think this was literally trial by fire for him because he was put on in a difficult situation. We saw Saliba going off. I'm hopeful that it's not a big injury. But he did really well in that defense. At the end of the day, I think if you're going at Anfield in that high pressure situation and you are not doing the most obvious mistakes, I think that £13 million might be a steal if we look at it 2 or 3 years down the line. Apart from that, I think Zubimendi, I just want to call that out, that I think we know now for a fact that like Rice and Zubimendi can work really well in that double pivot. I think we will see more of this behavior from the Arsenal team where we'll have these double pivots going into the difficult places like Etihad or Stamford Bridge. But I think they did really well. Zubimendi, again, as I previously mentioned, did look that he was a little bit tired, but I think he'll be fine. The last thing that I want to call out is, most importantly, what this match showed was that we went in with some of our key players injured or not fit enough to play the full match. I think we'll be fine. I think over the course of the 38 games, and let's remember, it's not a race, it's a marathon. I know people are probably very emotional right now that we have lost the game. Also, at the time of recording this video, I think Alexander Isak is probably finalized. I'm hearing like Mark Gay is also done, apart from the caveat that it might fall through. Well, God only knows what will happen with Mark Gay. But let's remember that Arsenal have brought in 8 players this season. We have spent a lot of money. The ceiling raisers that Arteta talked about in the previous seasons, I think we've got some now. Let's give this team a little bit of time. I think the international break is never easy to come, especially when your team has just lost and now you won't be seeing them for 2 weeks. But I think we'll be fine. We showed resilience overall. It was not a moment of like collapse from our defense or midfield. I think this Arsenal team has something in them to get something special this season. I do want to spend a little bit time, a minute or two, just talking about the Sky Sports pundit team. Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, Peter Schmeichel, they know their drill. They're going to sit in Sky Sports studio. They're going to toss out edgy tactics. They're going to talk about mentality. They're going to say things like only one team came to win. The other one didn't really want to win. Look, I get it. It's their job. It makes TV look good. But half of that is clickbait. We've seen Gary Neville coaching a team before. We know that he's not a brilliant tactician. He's there to just like rage bait people. He knows Arsenal as a fan base are really, really fragile. We have not won the league in over 20 years. We have never won the Champions League. Yes, we've won FA Cups here and there, but we have not really won a big trophy in the recent time. So I think let's calm. Everyone needs to calm down a bit. The same goes for Jamie Carragher. If you hear or listen to Jamie Carragher sometimes talking live to a live audience versus talking about analysis or whatever tactical depth that he's talking about, it's a completely different verbiage that he uses. He's a completely different person. And initially I used to scream at my screen and be like, Jamie, if you love analyzing defensive shapes so much, why don't you go and teach a team instead? The same goes with Peter Schmeichel. He was like saying like, oh, I've never wanted Liverpool to win a match before. Like, Peter Schmeichel, come on, let's all calm down. I understand that you're trying to get clickbaits for Sky Sports Studio, but just have a little bit of perspective in mind. It's easy to just sit on your comfy chair and analyze the game and say like, oh, you should be doing XYZ against Salah, or you should be doing this against Declan Rice. At the end of the day, I think the fans are all smart. They aren't fool. I think we all know a difference between entertainment and expertise. So I just want to tell those people who are getting enraged by this, just calm down. It's all drama that they're going to try and get out of you. Just leave it aside for your peace and mind. Maybe just don't look at the post-match analysis when Arsenal are losing, because that's what exactly they're going to keep on doing every time. So objectively, what I want to say again is, Liverpool did get the win. They are riding their high wave right now because they're going to get some really exciting players in the team, as I previously mentioned. Arsenal we walked away with frustration, but we have clear positives to take. It was not about being like one team was superior than the other, but instead it was about that one world-class moment. Again, I just want to say, Arsenal fans, don't panic. There is squad depth. The structure is there. The team will bounce back. Liverpool fans, again, congratulations for the win, as well as getting Alexander Isak and Mark Guehi. I think you showed what champions should typically do when you're winning the titles. Again, I think it's going to be a way closer season. I think people are writing off teams like Arsenal and Man City pretty early in the season, but it's a long season. This is Sultan of Soccer. Thank you for watching the video. Please like the video, subscribe, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please take care of yourself and your loved ones. Peace.